In this video, I am proposing a new cadre of HR professionals called as Human Resource and Possibility Volunteers, HRPVs. You can also call them as Human Possibility Volunteers. I would prefer to call them as HRPVs. I call them as volunteers. Almost about 35 years ago, 45 years ago, when we started the Javaja project, Ravi Mathai introduced this concept called independent volunteers in an experiment of linking education with economic activity in Javaja. This was the initial part of the experiment of making education relevant in the state of Rajasthan. This independent volunteer is a person who would commit after completing their MBA at IIM Ahmedabad or any other institute, work for about 2 to 3 years as an independent volunteer, and he gets a stipend of, in those days he used to get a stipend of something like about 6,000 rupees, and many corporations sponsored this stipend, like in the beginning L&T sponsored it, Voltas has sponsored it, and so on. Now, some of those volunteers who worked for 2 to 3 years, uh, generating economic activity, working with the education department, essentially in the rural Rajasthan, have later picked up other kind of jobs. One of them later went as a World Bank consultant, Brian Pinto. Another, Mr. Subramaniam, joined Madras Institute of Development Studies. I'm not sure where Arvind Khare and Utpal Panda and a number of others were. Mahmood Khan came only as a summer trainee to work with the Rega community, and he later joined Levers and also retired from there and doing very interesting work today in North India. This concept of volunteer, therefore, is a person who is on a kind of a stipend or uh, on a salary which is really not a salary, but a kind of an honorarium paid to him for his or her subsistence. The job of the volunteer is to be available there in the company, and maybe normally take charge of about 50 to 100 employees and work with them with the primary objective of ensuring their growth and development, not using any of the traditional methods but using entirely new methods and new techniques. Essentially, I think the person should be more of a listener, a counselor, a guide, and you can't counsel, you can't provide any help unless you listen and understand the person. First, the volunteer should try to understand the person, his or her needs, his or her world, and help the person to work out his or her own development path. So, the work of the volunteer is largely developmental. If some of you remember, I talked of the 7 hats of HR professionals, in which I talked of the legal and IR hat, then I talked of the administration hat, and I also talked of the technology hat. The first 2 hats the volunteer will not touch, because that will be done by HR specialists. He at best can be technology savvy, but he will also not use technology for administrative purposes. He just needs to be technology savvy. His primary focus is on the all-round development of the employee. The employee should first of all take care of his or her health factors, hygiene factors, ensure that he or she is able to create the right environment to be able to work, and number two, ensure that the individual derives happiness at work, enjoys the job, and third, acquires constantly through a variety of learning processes competencies needed, explores his or her own competencies to do the current job well, and also to prepare for alternate jobs, prepare for the future, and so on. So that is the development hat. But in addition to all this, the volunteer also helps the person to have the so-called intellectual capital building. Every individual's intellectual capital consists of his or her ability to manage relationships with other people, including juniors, seniors, internal customers, external customers, suppliers, and all stakeholders. So this is a relationship capital. In addition to the relationship capital, build his or her own emotional capital, being stable, understand the world the way it is going, and be able to balance a variety of his or her own needs, understand the context, understand the environment, not to get frustrated, not to get depressed easily, and so on. So this is the intellectual capital building, which includes, I think, as I mentioned earlier, relationship capital, emotional capital, and in addition also teamwork and team building capital, and also spiritual capital. The person is able to help the other person to build his or own spiritual capital through meditation, through maybe yoga, or through a variety of exercises, whatever are suitable, and build his or her own, maybe in the current COVID situation, immunity system. Not only the physical immunity, but also the psychological immunity to be able to face any job pressures that may occur from time to time. The pressures may deal with KPAs, KRAs, performance appraisals, promotions, etc., etc. So the volunteer is there to sit with the person, be a sounding board. So I conceptualize the human resource and possibility volunteer as almost like a spiritual guru. Now, if he's a young fellow, you may not be feeling comfortable to use the term guru, although I personally feel anyone can be a guru. In fact, I think nowadays our own children are our gurus on some areas. So we teach them so many things, they also teach us so many things. So the volunteer is almost like a young spiritual guru, spiritual facilitator, spiritual listener, spiritual counselor, and things like that. So this is what the human resource and possibility volunteers, HRPVs, are likely to do. Now, what is the preparation required by HRPVs? HRPVs normally, if they have done their masters in HR or MBA in HR, that's a very good thing. But masters in psychology, wonderful. Sociology, excellent. Extension education, any of the social sciences, I would say they are ready to pick up as HRPVs. However, they need a sound grounding in psychology. Psychology means they should understand the personality and how the personality is developed. So they should be familiar with the theories of personality. They should be familiar with the theories of learning and how adults learn, adult learning principles. They should be familiar with what motivates people, motivational theories, and familiar with psychometrics and psychometric testing, be able to use a variety of tests and so on. So therefore, this HRPV is well versed in psychology. Of course, if the person is masters in HR, it's wonderful because that prepared him to perform the first two roles. But I do not suggest that the HRPVs would perform any of the legal and IR roles or administrative roles. They should be totally kept away from that. But the background, if they have done any HR course, that will help in understanding the context in which today's employee exists. Today's employees do exist in a legal environment, industrial relations dominated environment, business environment. So this much is enough for the independent volunteer to understand. So the preparation is in terms of certainly understanding the business realities and context. But an additional preparation, in addition to psychology and understanding of the business environment and so on, the person should be very good at yoga and meditation. They may have gone through anything like the inner engineering of Isha Foundation or Sri Shri's courses, or may have gone through Vipassana, or may have gone through any meditation kind of courses from Brahma Kumaris or any particular kind of a agency that offers some amount of spiritual enlightenment. This particularly the spiritual enlightenment helps the person to look at himself, herself, understand and build his own discipline, and be familiar with helping others to meditate when is required. Practice simple yogas, not very complicated yogas, simple yoga kind of things and so on. In addition to this, so psychology and yoga and meditation, and third, the person should have gone through a basic human process lab, in the olden days called as personal growth lab, etc., offered by associations like the Indian Society for Applied Behavioral Science. Many of the B schools offer this as a part of their first year course. You have gone through. I think this is wonderful. So they should be familiar with some kind of a laboratory education where they understood the dynamics of human behavior. And fourth, they should have also understood the organizational structure and the dynamics, personal dynamics, interpersonal dynamics, group theory, and so on. If the person is prepared this much in psychology, yoga and meditation, basic human process lab, and personal interpersonal dynamics and organizational structure, this is a good kind of a preparation, and this is a must. An MBA or Masters in HR is not enough. Now all these courses can be made available from various bodies, and this after the person joins as an independent volunteer also can acquire some of these competencies. The next question that I like to very quickly answer is how about the structure of this individual in the organization, the location of the individual. The person will be appointed for 2 to 3 years as an independent volunteer on a stipend or on an honorarium which takes care of the basic needs of the individual. And if the individual is married and will have to take care of his family, the honorarium could be a little better to manage his but it is purely for 2 to 3 years. At any point of time, since it is a voluntary kind of a thing, volunteers are free to walk out depending upon the kind of circumstances that are there. The person should have a cabin with all the little bit of infrastructure that is required, because nowadays I think you operate from your cabin with Wi-Fi and a good computer and a table and a chair and so on. I would say the structure essentially of the volunteer is more almost like a barefoot counselor. So he helps people by walking around. So he is a walking HR professional, a walking and talking HR professional, barefoot volunteer, and he will have no targets. He will not be, certainly I think the performance can be appraised, they can be self-appraised and other kind of things, but he will not be a part of the existing kind of HR system. Friends, this is the new proposal that I have to create a new cadre of human resource and possibility volunteers, HR PVs. And these volunteers can be hired by schools. Every school should have a HR PV. Every college should have a HR PV. Every hospital should have a HR PV. Any clinic which has about 10 to 15 beds or has a good number of patients can have a HR PV. Any government department can have a HR PV. A agriculture department can have a HR PV. A fertilizer company can have a HR PV. Of course, besides, many small scale and medium enterprises can have as many HR PVs they would like. I think this is a great kind of an initiative which most organizations should take. In fact, I would request organizations to volunteer in sponsoring HRPVs, and I would appeal to bodies like National HRD Network, the Academy of HRD, NIPM, ISTD, and ISABS, and various other professional bodies to prepare this new cadre of HRPVs and help the world at large benefit from human resources. I want to remind people that when we started human resource development in mid-70s, we defined HRD in the context of a company and also in the context of a country. You must read our definitions of how we define HRD in the context of a country. HRD in the context of the country is very similar to what happens in a company, helps people to discover their potential, apply it for their own benefit and for the benefit of the society. I hope this particular initiative will take shape, and I would appreciate any comments you have. Please post on this video, and please also take it up if you are a member of some of your professional bodies, with your bodies, to promote this new cadre of HRPVs, human resource and possibility volunteers. Thank you very much for listening to this long talk.